You good? Okay, I'm Anthony, and I am going to attempt to film the whole process of all the spaghetti sauce and meatballs. And I'm not doing braciole this time, but I am going to do sausage and some pork chops and meatballs. And this is brought to you by SpaghettiSauceandMeatballs.com. Got that? Mm-hmm. Okay, my two boys are going to help me film this process. Okay, over here we have a nice pot. Make sure you get a big pot that has a nice thick bottom. See that thick bottom right there?
Yep.
Very important because you can cook really slow. Okay, I've already put some olive oil in here. You want to just cover the bottom with olive oil. Okay, so over here, come closer. Okay, we have the cookie sheet that I like to put the meatballs on while I'm waiting to brown them. Some good Italian sausage. Use a mild. Salt pork. Here you see this is called pork fatback. It has many names. Basically, it's just fat from a pig. Good stuff. You need this for the meatballs. 1 pound of ground meat. It's important that you get 80% lean, or sometimes you'll see 80-20. You want, because that means it has 20% fat in here, which you want the fat. You don't want too lean. Pork chops. You want the one with the bone in it. It's important. This is a little bigger than I like to get. I'll probably cut this into smaller pieces, throw in the sauce. A nice bowl to do your meatballs. You have breadcrumbs, which I like to get the Italian style breadcrumbs for the meatballs. Salt, pepper, Parmesan, basil, a little bit of garlic powder, even though I'm using real garlic. And you need some oregano leaves. This here is, you need a little mug like this because you're going to start pulling out some oil after the sauce has been cooking a really long time. Onion for the sauce. These 3 pieces of garlic will be for the meatballs, and this will be for the sauce. The bread, the egg, parsley is for the meatball, and I also put some of the parsley in the sauce itself. And I'll be adding this and this and this into the sauce as we go. And red wine, I don't have that here, but I will. Doesn't matter what kind. I'll be using this because I have it lying around. This is a Shiraz. It's kind of a mild red. I like to use a Cabernet cooking, but this will do just fine. Okay, and I'm using 4 of these. Usually I use 2 larger cans of sauce, but if you don't have can't find a larger, just use 2 small. And I like to use 2 diced and 1 minced, but I couldn't find that, so I got 3 diced. This still works. And then you got 1 paste. It's basically 1 paste for each 2 cans of sauce here, and you got your 3 diced. And I'll explain that as we go. And that's it for now. See you later. Okay, we have the garlic chopped up. This is the garlic just for the sauce. I still have garlic over here I'm going to use for the meatballs. So what I like to do, over here, I have olive oil in the pan already. So I take the garlic and put it into the olive oil. What I want to do is let that basically soak and marinate in the olive oil. And we'll let it just sit there like this. So I'll let this sit for a while I'm making the meatball mix. So I'll be back. Yeah, keep your hands on the side. Okay. All right. So now we still have the garlic soaking in the olive oil. I have a pan of water here, almost boiling. I have my sausage here. Okay, you want to poke some holes in the sausage. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and boil these. This is what makes them really tender in the sauce. You boil them first for about 15-20 minutes. What you're going to do is you're going to keep them in the pan until all this water totally evaporates. And then you'll actually brown them in the same pan there for a little longer. And what we're going to do is we're going to let these cook for probably like about 5 minutes. Flip them, put a couple more holes in them, let them cook some more. We're just going to let those cook. Okay, come over here. While those are cooking, got the meatballs here. Over here I have the cans all ready to go. I got the paste, diced tomatoes, and the sauce. Okay, now what I'm going to put in here, you have your 1 pound of ground meat. This is like 1.2 pounds or something. It doesn't matter. For all the exact measurements of what I'm doing here, just go to SpaghettiSauceandMeatballs.com. Okay, I'm just going to do this how I normally do it. Okay, I'm going to add some parsley. I need about that much parsley. And I'm going to need an egg. 1 egg in there. Okay, I'm gonna take a piece of bread here and I'm gonna soak it with water and squeeze it really tight, and I'm gonna put it in here. Like that. Okay, so now over here, your bread becomes like a glue. Okay, it's really like wet dough, and that's gonna help your meatballs stick together. And it's real important that you use wheat bread, whole wheat bread.
Write that down.
It's just because my grandmother did it, and that's how you do it. And my son says write that down. Okay. All right, so you get that in there. And I like to use some Italian breadcrumbs, about that much. And you're gonna wanna put some basil in there. I have to crush that braciole up pretty good here. And see, I got parsley in there. I'm gonna need garlic. This is about 3 medium-sized cloves. There may have been some large ones in there, I don't know. Okay, so get the garlic in there. You're gonna want some Parmesan cheese. You're gonna want about how much? What we'll do is we'll start with this, and then this will be your base. And you're gonna add as you go. Sometimes you have to add more breadcrumbs. Sometimes you have to add more Parmesan. You don't want too much Parmesan though, because it starts to melt. You get kind of weird. Alright, so this is a little wet right here. Too wet, but you want to work with it for a while. I should get my thumbs in there like this. You want to mix in the bread. You want to get that bread in there really good. Okay, and one thing I didn't add, which I'm going to add in a minute, is crushed black pepper. Fresh ground pepper. If you want spicy meatballs, all you have to do is add a little bit of red crushed pepper. That'll give you all the zing you want. Okay, so that means right now, this is, if you look at it here, this is it's a little too wet. Okay, if you try to make a meatball right now, you could, but it's a little too loose. So we're going to add a little bit more to that to make it work out better. Okay, so what we're going to want to do here is add a little bit more breadcrumbs. Just a little bit more Parmesan. And we're going to add some black pepper. About that much. Okay? Alright, now we're going to go ahead and mix it some more. And this is feeling pretty good here. Take a film on that sausage real quick. The sausage are boiling away. We're going to probably flip them in a minute. Alright, come back over here. Alright, this is feeling a lot better. Because now it feels a little sticky right here. I'm going to give this a practice. If you take this here, what I do is I start like almost flat. And squeeze it really tight. And as I'm squeezing it, I go lighter and lighter until I end up with a ball. And when I'm done, I'll do a check on that. It's a pretty good consistency. You don't want it totally bouncing back, but you want it where it's too close. You want it where it's soft like that. So that'll be a good meatball. That right there is a good consistency. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and roll these and we'll be back.